Divorce happens. In fact, it happens to almost 50% of first marriages. So let's talk about it. Welcome to Divorce Happens, a podcast to educate, inspire, support, and yes, make you laugh through divorce and beyond so that you can start fresh on the next phase of your journey. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh.
You get divorced. You get divorced.
Getting divorced?
I'm getting a divorce.
You're getting a divorce.
Because she's getting a divorce.
So what if I get divorced?
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Divorce Happens, the podcast where we support you before, during, and after divorce with education, inspiration, and a little bit of laughter because, as you know, divorce happens and then you start fresh. We're here with one of our Fresh Starts experts with an amazing program to talk about today. Joy, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Joy Reid, and I am the co-founder of the National Association for Single and Divorced Families.
Awesome. And so we were so excited to come across you and your co-founder, Ron, because you have some really amazing opportunities for people who are going through this really wildly chaotic transitional time in their life. So can you tell us a little bit, first of all, about the platform and then about what are some of the benefits of the membership that you have?
So we really designed it to be like AARP, but for single and divorced families. So in the sense that AARP is a collection of different programs and benefits, but also AARP has a 501c4 arm where they do advocacy work. And we really wanted to model that so that we could have a collection of services and programs that could benefit struggling single families and people going through a divorce. Because as you said, it's chaotic and tumultuous. Even the most amicable of divorces, it's chaotic and tumultuous. So we really wanted to be able to bundle things together for that, but also eventually advocate. Ron's passion is foster care. He's a foster parent. And my passion is what are called 2Gen programs, which are programs that focus on sort of combating intergenerational poverty within mostly single families, but all across the board nationally.
Yep.
So that's what we designed NASDF to be. As far as what products we have in it, when we started this a few years ago, he and I really got together and looked at this old business plan because he had designed this with his dad about, I keep wanting to say 25 years ago, but this is now about 5 years ago. Then he said 25 years ago. So 30 years ago.
Okay.
He and his dad sat down and really came up with this concept, but then weren't able to actually follow through with it or get anything done. And when Ron and I started working together, which he's my former brother-in-law.
Okay.
And I'm one of my best friends. And he handed the business plan of this to me. And I looked at it and I said, okay, we could really do something with this. And I think we're getting to a point where we could make a huge difference because the income disparity in this country just keeps growing and growing and growing. There is really no middle class anymore. I mean, we're either struggling or we're really not. Yeah. And the most important thing for me to bundle together, and it's not just for single families or divorced families, because people have asked, well, how do you verify that they're single or divorced? I said, we don't check divorce papers at the door. Like if you have a family, join.
Right.
Just advocate for things that affect single and divorced families most of the time. And a lot of our program, like we do have mediators and we have financial advisors for when you're going through the process of divorce. So those things are very targeted. But the rest of our benefits, we have, child education discounts. That was actually one of the two biggest things that I wanted were mental health care, provision for mental health care, and a provision for some kind of child care or child education, lower tuition cost. I think if I had $1 for every female friend I had who quit her job because daycare was just too expensive for her to keep working and justify, and then ended up getting divorced later on and said, okay, but now I need something and it's only on my $1. So that was the biggest thing that I wanted to be able to get underneath. And the problem, of course, is when you're first starting out, no one knows who you are. So I called it our Oliver Twist stage because I just sort of went around to companies going, please, sir, I want some more. Just can you work with me? Can you give me anything?
Yeah.
And The nice thing about that, though, is that what ended up happening, because there were so many companies who wouldn't give you the time of day, the ones that did are ones that are very much in line with Ron and I in terms of we're in this because we want to make a difference,
Right.
right? So, like, GoGo Mediation, who works with us, they started their mediation company because he didn't like how expensive mediation was when it's really the ideal alternative to lawyer in any
Yeah.
kind of court proceeding, but especially in divorce. And he's trying to get the word out there that no, you don't need to be getting along for mediation. That's not the case. And this is cheaper because the lawyers just want to keep racking up the bills. But he wanted it to be affordable, right? And
Right.
that's very much in line with us. Or Learning Care Group. They were the child education company that responded to us and said yes. And they're the parent company for La Petite Academy, Montessori schools, You Grow. And their concept is pretty much the same thing. As we want to help as many people as we possibly can. We want this accessible to as many people as we possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
So even though the first couple of years it was like pulling teeth, getting people to respond, it ended up weeding out a lot of companies that are really just in this for some kind of capitalist gain and
Right.
not for the human aspect.
Yep. Yep. So I know I've talked to Ron about this a little bit, but if you could dig into the mental health aspect of this a little bit, because some of the benefits you offer are like amazing.
So we offer right now it's 3 free therapy sessions and then discounted sessions thereafter. I think it's 1 free psychiatric consult. I can't completely recall because I just
Mm-hmm.
changed it back. We
Okay.
were using one company and I just switched back to Recuro, which is it's a national kind of telemedicine virtual health. And I love them. They're very, very streamlined in what they do. We just switched back to them. And so our membership has grown leaps and bounds the last couple of months. So we're actually on the threshold of qualifying for 8 free sessions per presenting condition for each family member. So in other words, you're going through a divorce and it's
Yeah.
pretty much a given that you and your kids are struggling with anxiety and depression. Like that,
Yep.
those just go along with it. So that's 16 free sessions per presenting. So because that's anxiety and
Right.
depression both. And and that was ideal for me. I wanted that so badly because that's no one has the money for therapy. And it ends up being this like self-care thing that gets shoved down the list. But it's the
Mm-hmm.
thing that you and your kids need the most as you're struggling with this, not just individually, but together. How do we cope with this? Right? What's our
Right.
new normal? How do we cope with the new normal?
Yeah. So, okay. So, can you talk us through that? Because that sounds like almost too good to be true, Joy. So, talk us through how does that work, right? So, you sign up for the membership. How much is that a month? And then do you just get
It's
these sessions?
it's $19 a month.
Okay.
And we have all sorts of different benefits. So discounts on Lenovo computers, discounts at Office Depot for school supplies. How it works is when you join us, so our main website, NASDF.org, you hit join and it takes you to a different portal site. And then you go through, you fill out your information. And from that point on, you get a welcome email from me um, that has login information for a member portal. And every time you click that link and go in, that's where all your benefits are, all the codes that you'll need, all the auto links. It's all located in your member portal. We're actually having an app built right now because that's going to be infinitely more streamlined. But you can click right from the portal to access any of these different sites and the automatic discounts, but there's also the instructions in that and in the member guide of how to go through because we have, I think, like 12 to 13 different things. And it's not just all in like it's one-stop shop, right? It's all sorts of different outside sites, Retiro being one of them. And how it works is we pay for that. Right. So we contract with a company called Arthur J. Gallagher or Gallagher Affinity, and they source out a lot of these benefits and services and programs. And then we pay Gallagher every single month per member per month for all of the different things that we offer to our members. And one of them is Recuro. And Gallagher just has a very, very good setup with Recuro where they've been working together for a long time. So it's the most expensive thing that we pay for, but it's also the thing that's the most worth it. So that's how it is. It's too good to be true in the sense that it's great for the client, but it's not like it's not covering like the cost. We're just eating the cost, and that's part of the $19 a month.
Right.
The biggest part of it, actually.
Right, but I just want people to if somebody's listening and they're like, "Oh my god, I don't have money for therapy," but they're offering this amazing discount, so they can sign up for $19 a month. They can log into the platform, and they can have access to their 3 free sessions and then a
Yes,
discount.
you have to the welcome email says so sometimes Recuro takes 24 to 48
Okay.
hours because our eligibility file has to be sent to them.
Right.
Every time somebody logs in, joins again, our eligibility file doesn't go out till midnight. Right. So,
Yeah.
but they will get notification and then they just, like, one of the reasons I love Recuro so much is it's literally the easiest thing in the world. You click on the link, it tells you what to do. And I have in the member guide, I go through and say, just
Okay.
click here. It's very user intuitive. You enter your name, your email address, and your date of birth.
Mhm.
And because you're already logged in, they have your file from us. It's just welcome, Mark. Here's where do you want a virtual health appointment? Here it is. Do you want behavioral health? Here it is. Let's find a provider in your area. Do you want this? Here it is. Let's find somebody in your area.
Right.
So it's almost seamless the way that Recuro has it set up.
Yep.
And so then you just go into that region, you search in your area, and it pulls up all the different providers that you could call or contact to work with for you and your kids, and then what they also specialize in.
And then
So
you get the trial sessions, and then you get a
correct. And then when
discount.
you contact, then I think it's um Recuro puts a little asterisk in there,
Right.
to let them know that you're part of this plan, and then
Wow.
that gets built in.
For $19 a month.
Yes, for $19 a month.
I know I keep repeating it, but
Oh no,
it's because I talk to, hundreds of women every week that have no money, right, going through this process, and if and I think and this is just it's so beautiful because 'cause I'm even thinking what a great gift, right, this is to give to somebody, right? You could just say, like, "Here, like, I may not live near you, I may not be able to pay for your divorce, but I can give you,
I give you
$20
this.
a month." Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So what are some of the other discounts that you have, on there, Joy?
So we have, like I said, we have discounts on Lenovo computers, tablets, desktops, laptops. We have discounts through Office Max and Office Depot, school supplies,
Yep,
basically.
yep.
We have the child education tuition discounts and then priority registration through that. We have a mechanic hotline. We have, see, it's so funny. Now I'm blanking. I joke with Ron because when he does these, he's always the salesman. Like, we've got this,
Yeah,
we've got this,
yeah,
we've got
yeah,
this. And I'm like, let's focus on something else from the
yeah,
heart. So now here I am, and I'm going,
yeah. So
and I've
explain
let,
the I understand that's what, having co-founders is like that. Somebody has to know what's going on, and somebody does all the other stuff. So what about this child you said there was an education,
with
like
child
a
care and
yeah,
education. That's
what is that? Can you explain that a little bit more?
so that's the learning care group. They're the parent company, like I was saying, for La Petite Academy or Montessori or UGRO. They've just added, I think, 3 more schools nationally. I have to go back and look at Nikki's email. Um, and what we have through them is 10% off of tuition and then priority registration and no registration fee.
Wow.
So priority registration in certain areas isn't going to be that huge of a deal, but in an area like, the Bay Area in California or New York, this is
Yeah,
it's a very big deal because you've got a waiting list for a lot of these different places.
yeah,
So
yeah,
those are the discounts we have through them. We pay them annually to be able to give that to our
right.
members.
Amazing. So brilliant. Like truly so brilliant. I'm so excited that you're part of our community and we can just, keep shouting about this from the rooftops. So make it easy for us, Joy. What's the best way people can go and sign up for this today?
You just go to www.nasdf.org and you'll see join right up in the top right hand corner. You just click on that and it takes you through the rest of the process. And then you'll get all the materials from us, the discount flyer, your membership card, and then your instructions on how to log in.
Amazing. Truly amazing. We're just so excited. We're so excited that you guys exist and that you're there for people and all families. I want to repeat that again, like
Yeah.
because you said that in the beginning.
Yeah, you don't have to be single and
Yeah.
divorced. It's just that's what we advocate for
Yes.
usually, but every mom and dad out there that has a family could use a lot of these things.
Yeah.
And it's only we add to it all the time. Like we're always out
Absolutely.
pounding the pavement trying to get people to work with us.
Amazing, amazing. So before we let you go, Joy, if somebody's listening to this and they are going through or considering a divorce, what would be some words of encouragement you could leave them with today?
To remember that grief comes in waves. To remember that grief comes in waves. So when one wave knocks you down, just wait. when it recedes, stand up on your feet, gather your breath, and know that the next one will knock you down, but none of it is going to drown you. You're going to keep getting back to your feet, and eventually the sea is going to calm.
I love that. That's poetic and beautiful. Thank you for that. Of course, you can learn more about all of these benefits over at Fresh Starts because we have a profile with all of the info over there. You can send us a message or an email, and we'll connect you to Ron and Joy if you have any questions. And I'm excited to just pound the pavement with you guys and get the word out there about this because it's really so amazing, to see this come to life and support people through life, right? And so I think that's awesome. So thank you so much. We're so glad you're part of our community. And if you have any questions, please reach out. Thanks so much, Joy.
Thank you.
Divorce Happens is produced by Fresh Starts Registry, the only divorce registry platform for everything you need to begin again, including home items, hype team, and everything in between. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh. We're here to support you before, during, and after divorce. Head to freshstartsregistry.com for more info.